Greetings from the Ministry of Labor National Productivity Development Department. We are glad you have joined us today again for this 7th edition of the Z Productivity Expert Talk, Productivity 360 Expert Talk. Today we are looking at achieving business growth through resilience and productivity, and we'll be featuring an entrepreneur, a go-getter, a risk-taker, Sampa Salome Mwanza. So before we go there, I want first of all to show you just a little bit of who Sampa is. Please stay tuned.
Mwansa, the CEO and founder of DigiBusiness Zambia. DigiBusiness Zambia is a business development services firm. We provide administration, compliance support, and we provide a home for SMEs. Running a business can be very lonely, but doing it in a community, it gives us the impetus and the encouragement to keep going. DigiBusiness was born out of a desire to create a community. Why? I'm an economist double major with economics and management from Edith Cowan University, and I've got a project management background as well. I love to give back to the communities. I give back to communities such as Baoleni, John Lang, Chilenje, Mtendere. And I do this through my Catholic church because this is something that I do to give back. And I'd just like to say thank you so much for listening to me and for always supporting the causes and the business that I have. Thank you.
Wow, that is our very special guest this morning. We are privileged to host her this morning on this Productivity Z360. You recall that throughout the year, we've always featured eminent persons who provided insights on various aspects of productivity. Last week, we were looking at the ASFTA and looking at how we can facilitate trade through productivity and how we can enhance enterprises, individuals, entrepreneurs, so that they take part in this global or regional competitive forum. So today we have a guest who will be able to tell us more on what is happening on the ground to prepare enterprise or individuals or entrepreneurs towards participating in this regional platform. My guest today is Sampa Mwansa Salome, who is a dynamic and progress-driven professional with extensive experience in empowerment, corporate banking, and financial services. She's a certified investment advisor and stockbroker with over a decade of experience. She brings deep expertise in compliance with her DigiBusiness. ensuring enterprises are structured, compliant, and loan-friendly within today's evolving digital financial landscape. Her background in corporate and investment banking, coupled with her role in developing women-focused financial literacy programs, providing her with practical insight into aligning business growth with compliance systems. Through her earlier work with the Salome Trust Initiative, she built a strong foundation in empowering women and youth through financial inclusion and literacy, which she now translates into the DigiBusiness compliance model, helping entrepreneurs formalize operations and access sustainable financing. Salome holds a double major degree in economics and management from Edith Cowan University and is pursuing a Master of Science in project management at the University of Lusaka. Her strategic understanding of finance, compliance, and digital processes makes her instrumental to the mission to empower MSMEs with expert tools, masterclasses, and strategy, ensuring that those trained under the Institute meet compliance standards required to access funding, and grow sustainably. You've heard from her, and I am sure you are looking forward to tapping into this wealth of knowledge. In addition to Sampa's expertise, we've added an extra one. She's the HERA practitioner upcoming from the Improtech program, which we're trying to pursue. So today we are more than privileged to contribute to productivity of MSMEs. As you know, Zambia's labor productivity remains low, sitting at 5.20 international dollars per hour of work, low or below the average of 9.18 in the SADC region. These statistics indeed are worrying, and we're looking for all ways to ensure that we galvanize, we encourage, we motivate everyone to improve productivity, especially labor productivity. And through this Productivity Z360 talk, we bring expertise who share insights on how definitely we can contribute to building Zambia that is more productive. And so today, this morning, it's not my show. Allow me to invite Sampa on the stage so that we could deliberate on this very important topic, achieving business growth through resilience and productivity. My guest this morning, good morning and welcome to Productivity Z360. It's my pleasure to host you this morning, and I'm very excited to hear from you. Good morning, and how are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Rise and shine, and we are so happy. I'm so happy to be part of the talk today. Just listening to the introduction was, wow, okay, I've achieved all that.
You have arrived.
Yeah, so no, thank you so much for the support and the opportunity, Yvonne.
Yeah, thank you so much. Last month we hosted the business shower where your parents showered you or invited guests to shower you with gifts so that you prosper. How was that? How do you feel about it? How do you feel about it? Did you achieve your goal? You can tell us more about the business shower before we get into the program.
All right. So a business shower is a crowdfunding tool, but using those that support you within your circles. So my parents, Dr. and Dr. Mwansa, are very supportive, and they said, if this is what you want to do entrepreneurship, you have to do it correctly. You have to learn from your failures. You have to keep going. You're not just doing this for yourself, you're doing it for others as well. And, my parents are both very big on service. My dad happens to be a Rotarian, and my mother is Ladies Circle. She actually was the first woman to be president, first woman of color to be president of the Ladies Circle. It's an international organization. So I've been raised on service, and also not just service, but adding significance to service and making sure that what you're doing is leaving an impact. So this for me is why DigiBusiness is a social enterprise, but with an underlying message of profit also, because, to employ people, you have to be able to make a profit to then generate and pay salaries.
Great. That's very good. You also participated in the mindset change process. How did this help you to be who you are?
Oh, I happen to be blessed that my mother is also my mentor. And it's no secret that when as you alluded to, the Salome Trust Initiative had worked for 5 years and then COVID hit, and we didn't really, it affected, just as it affected other businesses, it also affected ours. So in line with this, I didn't know how to handle it, and I was operating from a fixed mindset place. So I went into a depression, and mom said, these things happen when you choose to be in business. You need to be able to roll it off, get back up, and keep going. So the reason why I went through the mindset change program, and going through the program opened up my mind to saying, look, there's what we call a burning platform. And your burning platform creates that place where you can bounce off, and you say, okay, this is what I've learned from this experience, and this is what I'm going to go with. And the effort that was put into the Salome Trust Initiative is not wasted. It's a learning experience, and this is where we are going from. And I have a book where I write every day. I don't know if the book can be seen. I write my HPAs in here, my high payoff activities, my low payoff activities, because what this does is it gives me a roadmap as to what I need to do. So it was a lifesaver, not only as a mother, but also as a mentor. So I would recommend the Mindset Change Program 100%.
Yeah, true. I am a beneficiary of the Mindset Change Program, and I've done bigger things that I never thought I could do. I hope our listeners are listening, and they'll be able to grab this opportunity. There's actually an upcoming training. Is it next week?
Next week, yes. It's the first week and the last week of every month. There's a training.
Yes, so please, you can get in touch with me. I'll give you more details on how you can enroll on the program. Very, very helpful program. That's what Zambia needs. Okay, allow me to get back off the stage and allow Asampa to help us understand how we can achieve business growth through resilience and productivity. So Sampam, this is your show. I wish you all the best. I'll be joining you soon.
Thank you, Yvonne. I value your support. So we'll just start off by making just a greeting to you. So thank you so much for this warm welcome, and I'm honored to be here today because this conversation speaks directly to where many of us, especially entrepreneurs, are. Building businesses, our families, our identities, and our futures simultaneously needs a strong mindset. Resilience is not the ability. Resilience is not you just coming up. Resilience is actually the ability to adapt, recover, and keep going after setbacks or failures. For me, you can give yourself time to go through your process, and this is why it's called the mindset change process. It's a process. It takes years for you to go through from having a fixed mindset into having a growth mindset. So today, this is what we're talking about, the effort that it takes, the efforts that you put in to change yourself from going from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Only when you operate in a growth mindset do you take failures and turn them into opportunities, because it means that now there's an unfair advantage that you have because you've gone through a process and you've gone through the mindset change program. You've felt all the experiences that you need to feel. And this is why then you come out and you're able to stand out in a crowd. So today we are talking about resilience. It's not a motivational buzzword, right? But it's real. It's a practical force that keeps us moving when circumstances are heavy. Productivity is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters with clarity and intention. What are you intentional about? What is your purpose? So this is what we're talking about today. I'm going to just give you a brief understanding of my personal journey. So my journey reflects the realities of many women, and this is why I coined the mompreneurs, which is under DigiBusiness Zambia, and I happen to have, we can call her Natasha. Natasha is her name. She is the founder of the Z Moms Connect group. And this is an amazing, amazing resource of women. There's about 500 women on this group that work together and build each other up. And Zafaweb as well is there to support. It's been very instrumental in my growth. And I was introduced to Zafaweb by my mother and mentor, Dr. Sylvia Bimwansa, and it's worked for me. It's very important to be part of an association. Only when you're part of an association do you grow, do you learn from other people's experiences and move on with your life. So balancing motherhood, financial pressures, emotional healing, motherhood and identity. There are days when I would actually go for meetings and have my baby in a basket, I went through the Awe program. So the Awe program is a USAID funded project where it's provided by WIAC. So what this does is that it teaches you about business, everything you need to know, how to invoice, how to supplier management, stakeholder engagement, all these things. And, it has helped me position my business in such a way that it's now very clear. If the stakeholders that I need to work with are clear, all the inputs that I need to put into the business are very clear. And because of this, having gone to the first meeting with my baby in a basket and being chosen because of that, showing my resilience, even then when I just had my baby, going through that and just coming out and being who I am today has not been easy, but it's something that has been worth it. There are times when I question to say, am I doing enough? But motherhood has taught me how to strategically focus and organize my day. In the morning, I need to get my babies ready for school. And then after getting them ready for school, I need to now start calling my clients. Oh, okay, it's now the 11th. I hope we did our returns. We did this, we put this in place. And because of that, more of my clients are becoming compliant. And what I also do is I work with licensed professionals. So I have a collaborative contract with a legal practitioner, Wani & Co. This is Patricia Simeza Nkoma. And then I also have an accounting partnership with Auditrix chartered accountants. These accountants, they help provide service to SMEs. So if you're a partner and you provide a service, we can collaborate. You can come through. We sign an SLA, a contract, to know what our expectations are and what your expectations are as well. Productivity comes from being deliberate. It comes from knowing exactly what you want to do. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters with clarity and intention. So, there were seasons and where resources were limited, and I had to choose between business needs and household needs. And the financial resilience taught me that innovation, pricing discipline, and strategic partnerships are what you need to succeed. It's very, very important to leverage on people that have been there before, because only when you leverage on people that have been there before do you have a strategic upper hand. Do you have strategic alliances that will help hold you back, hold you up? Because through this, then you can grow as a business owner, as an individual, and have a support system. Having a support system doesn't necessarily mean someone is always there. It just means, okay, when you have a question, you can quickly post it, like in the Z-Moms group, you can quickly post and there's someone to quickly answer you. That alone gives you that peace of mind to say, okay, I'm not alone in this. I am able to know who I am. I'm able to do what I need to do. So it's so important. I learned to also rebuild myself while showing up for my children. Healing taught me about self-worth and also having boundaries and having a purpose-driven identity. Having a purpose-driven identity helps others come onto your journey. Have you ever been on a journey? You start off, okay, I was just talking about the other day, there's a business woman who helps people with keeping fit just here in Makeni. She helps people with keeping fit. And before there was one person she would keep fit with, and then it grew to 5 people. From 5 people, now it's 20 people. And now I'm just recently told that there's about 30 people that have joined her class. And that is resilience. If she had stopped because there was only one person who showed up, she would not have the 30 people that are there now. So many people give up too quickly, Giving up quickly, then you give up today, the next day there's someone who comes in and says, oh, there's someone who was seated here, I want to buy this thing. But you gave up too quickly, and that person then goes to your competitor. So it's very important to keep going, to keep doing what you need to do, to keep resilient, to keep putting in the efforts that you need to make sure that something happens. There's an analogy which says there was a miner, there was someone who owned a mine. And they mined for 20 years. They kept mining and mining and mining. And they said, oh, you know what? I don't think there's anything here. And they gave up and they sold the mine. And then when the new buyers came in, they came in with their quantity surveyors and the like, and then they were able to then look at the grounds, and they said, no, keep mining because there's something down here. So the next person mined, and there they were, they had their reward. So sometimes when you've been toiling and productive, it's important to keep going, keep going, keep the momentum. And this is where now we talk about strategic alliances and also synergies, as well as succession planning. Maybe at a time you get tired and you say, okay, I don't think I have the energy to continue with this. Let the next generation of people within your business, you say, okay, I'm going to move this then onto my child, and my child is going to now start mining this, and then you win. When you work in isolation, it becomes difficult to win because all the energy that you are putting in is yours. So it's very important to make sure that you are in a place where you are willing to share your expertise, willing to bring people on board. And this is what the Mindset Change program has really, really, really taught me. It's very important to make sure that you have everything that you need to do. Who have you listed down who your stakeholders are? Like for me, I've identified to say, okay, my stakeholders are ZRA, PACRA, NAPSA, NEMA. I've listed the government agencies that I need to work with, because it's not all government agencies that you may need to work with and who align to what it is that you need to do. So you write them down. You say, okay, these are the government agencies. These are the regulations that I need to adhere to. These are the trainers that I need to have, and also to access, have a roadmap as to how people are going to access. Because before, anybody could just come and access financing and then they run away with the funds. But what we've done now is we have put in a measure. We have said, okay, look, for you to access financing, you must go through the Mindset Change program, because then now we are doing our due diligence and we are working on a directory. We have a gentleman called Martin who is working on our directory and our database and our website to make sure that we are very much aligned. We know, okay, this company that we're dealing with, are they compliant? Are they registered at PACRA? Are they up to date with their returns? Have they been through the Mindset Change program? After we've assessed all these things, then you can access financing. Because what that does is that we have done our due diligence, we have created a relationship with you, and then we can have a business shower for you, which is a crowdfunding type of funding model, where at least you have the people within your network who want to see you succeed and are pouring into you. So when Yvonne asked to say, has this been successful? Success is measured in different ways. You have different KPIs. You have the KPI of, okay, have you had the strategic alliances? Yes, it's been successful. Have you had the money that you need to run your business? Maybe that is a 50% KPI met or 20% KPI met, which is fine. You still keep going. You learn from, okay, what can we do differently to make sure that the next people that are having their shower, they achieve their financial goal. You have interpersonal goals. Have you created relationships with the people that are in your system? I happen to have now an assistant who came out of volunteering at the business shower. So this is on interpersonal. Yes, it's been successful. So emotional healing, has it been successful? Yes, I'm more confident because what it is that I'm doing has now been validated. What you're doing is validated. When it's validated, then you know, okay, I can keep going. I can keep mining. I can keep rebuilding myself. I can keep pushing for what it is. And we are also working on a co-working space at one of the leading malls in Zambia. What this will do is that it will give SMEs a home. It's when you go for a meeting and they ask you, okay, write a letter and make sure that you've got a place where you can be contacted. This is where many SMEs fall short because you can't put your home address, right? You need somewhere where it's an anchor store for you to say, okay, if a letter is required or something is required, then I know that I can put this address and they can find me at this address. So what that does is that it creates a community and a sense of belonging, which is on the Maslow hierarchy of needs. It gives you a sense of belonging. Once you pay your subscription and membership fee, you will have access to all these. So at this point, I'm going to just talk about how productivity requires partnership. Productivity requires partnership. You can't do it alone. You can't operate as an island. You need government working with citizens, working with SMEs, working with external stakeholders. And this is why I'm undergoing the HERA program, which is an Indian program, which I've already just seen. The 2 meetings that I've been in have been so amazing and so thought-provoking because they make you internalize. They make you think, okay, what makes you you? What makes me Sampa? What makes me unique? What makes people trust me? What makes people want to do business with me? It's that human aspect. Yes, I've made mistakes. I own up to my mistakes, and we make sure that we keep on moving. We learn from our mistakes. We keep falling forward. It's very, very important because once you develop a growth mindset, only then do you have solutions. Only then will people give you the knowing that to say, okay, this person has got this goal, and this goal is purpose-driven. It's a purpose-driven identity. Anybody that meets me today will be able to say, okay, that's a resilient person. That's someone who always wants to do the right thing. My parents are of very high integrity, and they've taught me this, and this also then feeds into corporate governance. And I happen to have 3 people on my board, and these are my Dr. Sylvia B. Mwansa, Dr. Stephen Mwansa, and Miss Mbololwa Zimba. So these 3, they're always feeding into me. They're always saying, okay, when you're doing anything, make sure you check with us. When you're doing anything, make sure that we are giving a go-ahead as to what you're doing. And what this does is that it provides checks and balances as to what you need to keep going. It's very important to have checks and balances. Only then, when you have checks and balances, do you know that you're doing the right thing and you're moving in the right direction. When you're moving in the wrong direction, at least you've got shoulders of giants to fall back on and say, okay, look, this is what is happening. How can I navigate this? And because they were involved, they're not operating from crisis mode, they're operating from a proactive point of view because they are already invested in the decision-making processes that you're doing. This creates then your roadmap and the framework for you to keep going. So a practical productivity framework is having a clear approach. What is your approach to life? What is your approach to your business? Are you proactive or are you reactive? A lot of business owners tend to be reactive, especially when we are bootstrapping. When we're bootstrapping, this is one of the most difficult times because everything, you are very responsive. You're very responsive. When a decision that you've taken hasn't gone the correct way, then you have to be responsive to that immediately. But whereas if you're working from a proactive point of view, you have done a scenario and if analysis, a risk analysis to say, okay, if we take this scenario, what could happen? Or if we take this scenario, what can happen? So you have 3 different scenarios and 3 different points of view, including your own. And this is very important because then it sets you up for success. failure is it could happen, but still at least you've got that success for you to keep going. You need to also optimize your systems. What is your current record keeping, your pricing models, your inventory models? What are you using as systems? And DigiBusiness actually helps teach SMEs how to keep their own records, how to file your own returns as well. And we are actually having a masterclass on the 3rd of December at McKinney Mall. And this, you are very welcome. You can actually come and send a message if you want to be part of it. And then we are building a serious support network. Do you need to print? Do you need to brand your company? Do you need to have your financials checked? Do you need your accounts audited? All these things are things that we provide through strategic partnerships with others. And then also policies. Policies, they are very important because ignorance is not a defense. So you need to work with government as well. So as you see, I'm with speaking through the opportunity provided by Ministry of Labor and Productivity, and this is why I'm sitting here speaking to all of you today. It creates that opportunity for you to then be on a platform, where you can speak and share what you're doing, and also have the support of government. There's a lot of talk on private-public partnerships, and through opportunities like this is where PPPs are created, where it can impact the SME that may be too afraid to go directly to the government. They can come to DigiBusiness and we can support you. We are here for SMEs. We love SMEs and we want to see the economy thrive. Already, according to statistics and research, SMEs account for about 80% of employment. So this is no small feat, and congratulations. If you're an SME and you're creating employment, congratulations. And this is why a lot of SMEs are now being given support. But you need to make sure that you are investor ready. You need to make sure that you've gone through the process. You've gone through the mindset change process for you then to be able to run your business successfully. So we're just going to have a reflective moment now, because I think that was a lot of content and it was very heavy. But at the end of the day, just remember, resilience results from effort and being adaptable. Those that succeed are the most adaptable to change. Look at a lot of companies that have gone through. Globalization brought in a change, and also technological advancements meant now you had to change. A lot of people are now working, moving away from brick and mortar and are moving into technology-based solutions. So you need to have technology-based solutions for you to automate the operations of your business. And should you need that, we are here to assist in creating that need for you. So where have you ever thought to ask yourself, to think and reflect, where am I? Why am I holding back? Is it due to fear, or is it due to exhaustion, or is it due to me being afraid of failure? When you're in a fixed mindset, you get afraid to fail. But when you're in a growth mindset, failure and feedback is breakfast for champions. For me, I'm not afraid to say I've failed, and through failure, I have learned. And through learning, I have created DigiBusiness, which is now helping on a larger scale. So it creates it creates an opportunity for you to grow. So now I'm just going to read something from the point of view of a fixed mindset. Effort is for people with deficiencies, right? A fixed mindseted person thinks effort is only for people who have deficiencies. You're not going to study enough. You're not going to, because you feel you've arrived. But those ones who have a growth mindset, they study, they know that they have deficiencies, and they work to make these deficiencies something which can benefit not only them, but their communities as well. I am not afraid to say, okay, look, when I was a little bit slower to grasp concepts, but through being handheld by my childhood best friend who just passed away, this actually created it grew me. And from that, I was able to graduate amongst the top of my class, and I was able to then go into university and become an economist. And from there, I've just been moving forward, failing forward. And a lot of people that are there and afraid to fail, just know failure is the stepping stone to success. There is no person who has been successful. Jeff Bezos, all the billionaires you can think of, Roy Kroc, all these have failed before. They have all failed before, and this is why they've succeeded. The number of times you fail, it pushes you onwards to your success. It pushes you onwards to what it is that you really want to succeed. The idea of trying and failing is not a waste of time. It is something that you need for feedback, for effort, for growth, for resilience. Resilience is an ingredient that you need. It's actually an output that comes out of you having effort, having feedback, failing forward. So during my business shower that was alluded to by Yvonne, this was mentioned, the fact that I've been resilient, I've been determined, I haven't let failures and people coming and borrowing and failing to pay back hasn't shaped me. I failed, yes, because I failed to collect. But this is something which I have learned from. How do I better ring fence the facilities? How do I better make sure that the people who are coming into the system are people that have been vetted? How do I make sure that these people are people that have bought into having a serious agenda towards the serious growth of their businesses? And this is something that has grown and has helped me become who I am. So during my business shower organized by my mentor, my mother, and my father, who invited those that have had a positive impact in our lives, and especially the Mindset Change Process Program, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Labor, and Chief Productivity Officer were invited to participate. They spoke about creating jobs, seeking opportunities, and being intentional in adding value, not only to myself, but to others. It's very, very important. So I got one thing from there, taking action. Taking action is so important. When you take action, people buy into who you are. They say, okay, I want to be part of this journey. I want to make sure that I have this written down in my success planner, the dates, and this is the reason why I'm here. So this is a reflective moment. I'll just take a few minutes that you should reflect on this. You need to really, really reflect on this. What is holding you back? What is holding you back? What is holding you back? It's very important to assess. Is it your own internal struggles, or is it because you're afraid of what people are going to say about you? Right? Oh, okay, this person failed, and this is what happened, and this is what the biggest people, even a lot of people that have been there, they say, okay, yes, there is no such thing as negative publicity. Everything is publicity. Everything propels you. Everything propels you. You need to take action. You need to make sure that what you are doing is something that is propelling you forward. Or there's someone who has messaged, say, how do I register for the December meeting? Maybe you can take down the number. I'll put it in the comments there, how you can be part of the masterclass. And then, we're just going to go and talk about the masterclass. What is the masterclass? The masterclass is something that, people are going to come through, and then you will have experts speaking to you. You will have someone from ZRA. You will have someone from Sanlam. You will have someone from a marketing expert. Because for SMEs, one thing that we suffer from is branding. We are not visible enough. We want people to guess that you are there. People can't know that you are there unless you speak about it. If large corporations like Trade Kings can advertise, why can't you? Why shouldn't you advertise? Why should someone just wake up and say, oh, okay, there's Mulenga and Sons somewhere, and let me go and support them? They can't know. So you need to be visible in their faces. And this is why we are creating a directory to increase that visibility, especially in the service sector. For products, it's a little easier because you can sit, or you can sit at a Kantemba, or you can like share a space, or you can have like a marketing exhibition, and it's easy for you to put your products there. But for a service-based business, it's a little more difficult for people to buy into you because you're providing a service, you're providing a training, you're providing compliance, you're providing branding, you're providing insurance. So for the service sector, it becomes a little difficult for you to buy into it, and the productivity needs proper effort for you to be productive in the service sector. Proper deliberateness. So this is something that you need to have. You need to make sure that you are pushing. No one is going to push for you. You have to push for yourself. No one is coming to rescue you. You have to rescue yourself. So this is something that is there for all of us, and you need to have a mindset change process, program background for you to come and access financing from us and from our partners, because we are not the ones who will provide the financing. We will provide it through our strategic partners. Because of the experiences that we've learned from, it's very important to have partners who are mandated to provide financing. But we prepare you. We prepare you by going through the Mindset Change program, for attending our master classes. And then once you are done with that, then you can then say, okay, I've gone through the Mindset Change program. I'm a member of the Digi Business Directory. And through this, then I can now attend the master classes provided by Digi Business Zambia, and then access financing from our strategic partners. After you've been vetted, after you've gone through the entire process, because we don't want to repeat. Those ones who don't learn from their mistakes are doomed to repeat them. So we are people that learn from our mistakes, and we are looking for people that are willing to do the hard work. They are willing to put in the funds in their businesses, and the businesses generate revenue, and then you pay back. So we prepare you. We make sure that you are ready. You are someone who is open-minded and ready with the correct growth mindset, and are willing to go through everything that you need to go through for you to be successful. So, the Mindset Change program is something that helped me, and I feel it can help you too. Mindset change is the differentiating factor between someone who is going to be successful and someone who is not going to be successful. I am a product of the Mindset Change program, and Digi Business is born out of that. And this is why I was provided a business shower, and the business shower then has propelled me into knowing that what I'm doing is important, and what I'm doing is worth it, and what I'm doing works. So this is about achieving business growth through resilience and productivity. You have to be productive and resilient. That what you're doing, your business model is working. And through Digi Business Zambia, we provide business model modeling, right? We stress test your business model. If you do this, what is going to happen? Are you compliant with your ZRA? You are VAT registered. Are you registered for smart invoicing? So all these are things that you need to understand, and you need to know that these are the stepping stones into what it is to leverage what you're learning and making it work for you. You need to use simple business tracking tools, not only the Mindset Change program, but also basic tools for your accounting. And this accounting, like I mentioned, is done through a Zika accredited chartered accountant, Auditrix. Through Auditrix, you're able to learn what you need to do for you to have your records in order, for you to have your invoices in order, for you to have an ability to track, to leverage government and SME programs. The government is here to help us. Policies are formulated in support of SMEs, but are you as an SME seeking out these government SME programs? It's very important to do so. Once you do so, you know that you are doing your business openly, you're doing your business in a compliant manner. So the SME programs that are provided are very important, and it's important for you to be an ambassador for your country. When you're an ambassador to your country, it creates these opportunities that we have, that we can grow, that we can learn from our mistakes, we can learn from even our successes. Lessons learned are very, very important. We need to practice weekly business review meetings, and this will be done from our co-working space, how to show up intentionally, how to build your growth mindset, how to share opportunities, not just forwarding messages that are not building, but sharing and building messages and demanding personal acknowledgement and personal change through personal development channels. It's very important for you to be part of a community. Once you're part of a community, it makes things easier for you to link with other people, for you to identify and do a SWOT analysis on yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your opportunities? And what are your threats? And threats are there to support. Because threats, when you identify, you say, okay, what is the threat in the market? Like now we have Yango, which is now took over the market of Orlando, and now InDrive is coming into the market. So that's a threat, right? But then what can happen is when you're alive to that, when you're alive to those opportunities, then you can actually anticipate to say, okay, how can I pivot? How can I pivot my business that it also can share market share? I'll give you an example of Pepsi and Coca-Cola, right? Pepsi and Coca-Cola are operating in the same market, and they have different market shares, right? And they both have very strong market shares, and there are people who are there who support both of them. They say, okay, look, there's people that will go to a store and immediately know this is the drink that I want to have. I want a Pepsi or I want a Coca-Cola. So this is something that is very, very important for you to know in the market. It's not enough to say, oh, okay, there's already this player in the market, so I can't join this market. Why not? Join the market, but just find that thing that makes you finesse. Just find that thing that makes you uniquely you. You can sell the same product, but you can do it differently. Maybe your packaging will be different. Maybe your go-to-market strategy will be different. So just find that one thing that makes you unique. Create a niche. What is it about you that people are going to buy in? What is it about you that people are going to, your clients are going to say, I would rather go to Mulenga and Sons, or I'd rather go to this company. These are things that you need to do, a personal SWOT analysis and also a SWOT analysis on your business. What makes you unique, right? What gives you that advantage over others? So it's so important to leverage on what makes you unique, leverage on what makes you strong, and have a purpose-driven life. I happen to be a mom, and I'm juggling motherhood, and I'm juggling running a business. So there's nothing easy, and you have to be deliberate with everything that you need to do. All it needs is for you to be organized. Once you are organized, then it's easier for you to compartmentalize what it is that you need to do, the inputs that you need to have, and what you need to provide you the best chance of success, not only in your personal life, but also in your business. So, it's taking action is something that you need to write down. We've been doing the mentorship talks for the last 5 years, and I recently joined. I think I've been doing it for almost a year now. And, it's just given me that need for me to be deliberate in what I do. And the deliberateness is not easy. You wake up choosing to be deliberate. It doesn't matter whether you're in a bad mood. It doesn't matter whether you have a bereavement. It doesn't matter whether you need to show up consistently for people to trust you. Once people trust you, it's easier for you to say, this is what I'm working on, this is the mistake I've made. How can we then navigate this mistake and make it into a positive? How can we look at the weaknesses and make it into a strength? How can we use these opportunities and attack these said opportunities? It's very, very important for you to reflect, for you to understand what it is that you need to do. So all those that are interested in the business showers and are interested in the mindset change program, you are free to contact Yvonne, and then she'll be able to direct you to whether it is that you are interested in the master classes or you're interested in the mindset change program. But for you to access a business shower, you must go through the mindset change program. It's very important for you to go through the mindset change program, because then it won't be a question of, okay, are you ready mentally? It will be a question of, what do we need to do? What support do you need? Which partners have you identified? What are your high payoff activities? And are you operating in your correct quadrant? And what they say when they say correct quadrant, it means you are not reactive, you are not operating in crisis mode, you are operating in a space where you know exactly what you're doing, and even when noise comes in, you know how to navigate that noise and still go back to your high payoff activities. High payoff activities, for those that are in the corporate world, is what we call KPIs. Key performance indicators. What are your key performance indicators? What are the things that you need to do to show that you are productive? Productivity needs to be measured. When productivity is measured, that's when you know that what you are doing is really working. What have you listed down? Have you listed down your goals? Even as you go back to your offices or you go back to your businesses, have you written down, okay, this is my goal. What goal are you trying to achieve? What is your mission? What is your vision? So the mission of DigiBusiness Zambia is to provide you the best possible service by being your business partner and using business linkages to provide you that. Because we understand that when you have the best experiences, when you have the best teachers, when you have the best experts in your corner, it makes business success more probable. Business success more probable, because when this happens, then you are able to use your opportunities to benefit you and also benefit your communities and provide you with the necessary income, because that's why we do this. It's to feed our children, it's to impact our communities, it's to be able to go to church and tithe adequately, it's to be able to impact financially. You know, there's funerals or meetings where you go and they say, okay, we can't start until this person comes. We can't start this meeting until this person comes. Why is that? It's because they know that even when they start before this person arrives, the productivity will not be achieved until that person arrives. So it's very important to make yourself into that person, and you only become that person when you're operating from a growth mindset. You know, many a time when we're growing up, they'll say, oh, okay, this child is very smart and they're going to grow up into this person. And this, yes, praise is very good, but praise sometimes can create limiting beliefs, because then when they make an error, then they're no longer being praised and the praise stops, and then they feel inadequate. They feel like they're a failure. So it's very important for you to always say, okay, what is it? What are you working on? Are you proud of what you're doing? I always ask my kids, are you proud of what you're doing? How can you measure your own productivity? How can you make sure that what it is that you're doing is impacting not only yourself, but impacting others in your class, impacting others? What are you doing to make sure that others are benefiting of what you're doing? Because in life, it's give and take. Value is something that you give, and also you have to get back some value from others. Dr. Sunshine always has a word that she says, what is it that someone is benefiting of you? Because you have to have mutual benefits. What is it that someone is benefiting of you, and what is it that you are giving somebody else? So only through this meeting of the minds does it create the success that you need, the reflection that you need to keep going. You know, why we say synergies are very important is because there might be gaps. A lot of people like to operate like in silos. They like to keep their like what animal is that? A crab. Like, have you ever seen a crab likes to operate in its own? And even when you put crabs in a bowl or sort of basket, and then the crabs are trying to come out, they need to grab the other one and pull it back in. And she is someone who has taught me to say, never be the one that is pulling someone back in. Be the person that is uplifting somebody else. So this is something that I've learned, and this is why the community working space is very beneficial, because we'll be able to share resources as SMEs and be able to achieve what it is that we need to achieve, to grow into yourself, to have the best business linkages, to reflect on what it is that you need to do, and also to become the person who you want to become. Becoming is a process. Becoming the person you want to become is a very, very long, tedious process. And only through resilience can you do this. When you're putting in the efforts, it results into productivity. And productivity is the ability for you to use the resources that are provided to you to impact not only yourself, but impact your communities too. So job creation, are you deliberate in your job creation? Are you deliberate in your community engagement? What is it that you're doing? I happen to be very engaged with my community, and this was seen in the introduction message to say, I'm someone who has partnered with my church, and through my church, I give back into the communities that are less. By doing this, this provides me the platform that I need to also gain blessings and also be able to grow my business, because through there you are learning, you are being exposed to different environments, you are becoming someone that you want to become, you are learning from feedback, you are constantly active, you are constantly putting things together, you are constantly becoming who you need to become to be successful. Success is not something that just drops out of nowhere, right? Success is something that you have to work at. Success, you have to push. You have to keep pushing. You have to be deliberate with your networks. You have to be deliberate with your purpose. You have to be intentional. You have to make sure that what you are doing is the reason for becoming. What you are doing is something that even if you are not getting paid, you'd still do it, right? For me, even if I wasn't getting paid, I would still advocate for the compliance of businesses, because I know it not only impacts me, it impacts others. And, you know, as an economist, I have learned to look at the bigger world view. I have learned to look at things from a macro level, because when you look at things from a macro level and then you trickle it down into a micro level, that way you're able to say, okay, so when I take this action doesn't only impact me, it impacts others. And this is the way we need to live life. When you live life like that and you are community focused, then this becomes significance being added to service, which then provides you with the income that you need for you to be successful and for you to be deemed successful by others. And when you're successful in the eyes of others, it makes you then be able to thrive. It makes you be able to do and give back to the communities that you need to give back, because success is not something that you keep to yourself. Success is something that you also need to grow into. You need to make sure that, okay, this is what I am doing to make sure that I'm impacting my government, I'm impacting my fellow SMEs, and this is something that I really, really, really want to do and love to do. So I'd just like to say a big thank you to the audience for listening, and I'll implore you to follow the Productivity Z360 for continued support. And I will invite you to follow up with Yvonne for the Mindset Change program. And then the masterclasses, we have a masterclass on the 3rd of December. It will be at McKinney Mall. For more information, you can actually see the McKinney Mall Center Management. They'll be able to assist you with this. And I'd just like to say thank you so much. And I encourage you to keep going, keep doing what you're doing, and keep supporting each other and impacting your communities.
Thank you very much, Sampa, for that elaborate discussion. You have touched all the corners that are needed indeed to achieve business growth. I have about 3 pages that I wrote down as you were discussing. And just maybe as a way of summarizing, as we are coming to the end of this program, you did mention the issue of managing our time, responsibilities, risks, having a support system, not giving up, having stakeholders that you must identify as your support system, measuring success, and also acknowledging mistakes, as well as providing ways or solutions to the mistakes. You've shared how you have put in place certain things just to ensure that you get back on track. You also emphasize the issue of corporate governance, the issue of putting up systems, records, returns, policies, among others. But very much, I was very much amazed because all this is linked to ensuring that when enterprises grow, because of putting up these that I have mentioned, this definitely leads to higher productivity and indeed to job creation. You've actually advised us not to get scared to fail, because failure is one of those. There are other big people who have failed but have learned from the failures. We must take action. What is really holding me back is the question I asked, and one of the participants asked the question, what is holding you back? So do you need a back in terms of finance, compliance, operations? Please see Sampa or visit Sampa for more advice. This has been our Productivity Z360 Expert Talk that has been brought to you by the National Productivity Development Department of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. It's been an awesome time, and we hope you have enjoyed and you have learned. If you want to learn more about what we have heard today, please subscribe to this channel, and you can get this video and many others that we have published before, just to abreast yourself. So mine this time is just to thank our presenter, Sampa, and also the SBM team for the mentorship and also for the support that they've given to Sampa. It's a call to action to all of us parents, again, to support our children's goals and activities. This is very, very important. So maybe before I close you out, Sampa, what are your last words to our viewers? I know you've talked about the masterclass and everything else that you're doing, but just one special message in less than a minute to our participants this morning.
Okay, so to our participants, know that you are very important and what you are doing is worth it. Entrepreneurs are the backbone of our country, and keep on having the resilience and keep on being productive, and know that there's organizations such as DigiBusiness Zambia and the Mindset Change Institute available for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This has been our awesome discussion. We hope to see you again next month when we feature hopefully another eminent persons to discuss other various issues on productivity. Productivity is not by accident. It is a commitment to excellent planning, focused effort. And so please do keep following us, and we wish you a productive November and upcoming December. God be with you. Until next time, it's bye from us. Thank you.
Thank you.